Hey guys, what's up? JWhisp here, and welcome to episode 20 of the Minecraft 1.17 Survival Let's Play. Here we are back in the world, special episode, episode 20, a bit of a fun milestone. So today, we have a special episode, and a really fun episode, because today, we are finally doing it. We are finally revamping the village. Now, before we get started on that, I have a few things to say. And first off, I would like to say, I'm still just coming over, being a little bit sick. So if my voice sounds a bit weird, a bit scratchy, that's why. But you may have noticed there's a few changes. First off, my game is a lot brighter than it normally is. I messed with some internal shaders and some texture pack options and whatnot. So if you like how the game looks, let me know. If you don't like it, also let me know. The thumbnail is also a bit different. I'm experimenting with different thumbnail designs. And then I'm also experimenting with adding some more time lapses and building time lapses. And there will be more in this video. So if you guys enjoy it, let me know down below. If you don't enjoy certain aspects, let me know. I mean, on my channel, my videos, my thumbnails, everything has pretty much been the same for about the past 3 or 4 years. And I feel like it's time for a bit of a change. I feel like it's time to sort of, I don't know, not start fresh, but just to mix things up a little bit and make things a bit more exciting. So, pretty much the plan is we are going to tear down everything in this village. Obviously, not my house, not the fishing dock, not stuff we've built, but the default villager houses, we are going to tear those down, add our own new houses, and then eventually add our own paths, add some plants, add some custom trees. This whole village will look totally different once we're done. Now, originally, I was gonna do a sort of normal, plains village style housing, and then I realized that some of the builds I already made have a little bit of this Nordic element to them. Not totally Nordic builds, but, using a lot of spruce wood, having that classic sort of Nordic roof, and, I did the same thing with my beehive, so I think that the village is going to be fairly similar to that. I think what I'm going to do is just make 1 or 2 sort of test village houses, and then make the rest based on those. These don't have to be giant houses or anything like that, because these are just meant to house villagers. But once we're all done, I think this village will look absolutely insane. But the first thing we have to do is tear down the village. Thankfully, we still have haste from the beacons, so it makes tearing things down pretty dang fast. Alright, so here we are, the entire village is gone. Now, I do have a bunch of materials in these chests, just like the things I got from tearing down some of the houses, as well as some of my own materials to build some more houses. Now, the way this is going to go is I feel like I want to have a lot of houses, but a lot of them I want to be smaller, sort of on scale with the size of this. But I also want a few houses that are rather large and that can serve different purposes. Like, for example, I have this blacksmith here. This really stands out as a build on its own. But I'd like to have maybe, a place for my librarian villagers and, just different designs of different houses. Maybe a bigger house on this lake here, or a bigger fishing dock style build. And I'm just going to play around with it and see what I like. Now, I think the way I want to go about this is making a few of the larger houses first, and then with the space left in between, fill that in with a lot of smaller houses. I really want this village to come alive. Once we're done with the houses and all of that, we'll add some of the smaller detail work like paths, flowers, trees, stuff like that. Even the part of the village we already have sort of finished, I want to add a lot more. I want trees and rocks, and I want to make this pathway better. It's very simple right now, but I want to make it look really good. And so what I'm going to do is really just wing it on how I want this to look. So let's place a log there, and I guess right there. And I just got to think of a shape that I want for this house. And we'll go back here, and then we'll go back here. And then I think what I'll do is put some more logs here, and this will be the sort of entrance of the house. So just like this. Honestly, building isn't that hard. I just kind of, you know, go random with it. I just kind of place blocks randomly, and I work with it as I go. I never really have a vision for what I want to build, which is why I want to do a lot more of these time lapses. I often haven't shown the actual process of me building, but that's just been because it's really hard for me to sort of build what I'm visualizing, and so I have to do a lot of takes. I often break blocks a lot, replace them a bunch of times to really figure out what I want. So using the replay mod and making time lapses will sort of allow me to better myself in that regard, because I'll be able to show more of my building on camera since I can speed it up and do more of that stuff. So as you can see, I'm literally just placing blocks randomly, trying to get a general shape for this house. This is going to be one of the slightly larger houses, but like I said, it's not like they need to be giant houses. I'm just fitting a few villagers in here. It's going to be nothing crazy. So I think what I want to do is this will be the doorway, and then this will be the main large part of the house. So I'm going to work on it and see what it looks like once I'm finished. Okay, so here is our first house done. Now, I think it looks fairly good, but obviously it's lacking a lot of detail on the outside. It needs paths, it needs plants, it needs trees, it needs lanterns, it needs all that stuff. But we are going to add that in the end once we are done adding the rest of the village houses. So, definitely stay tuned to see what we do for there. I think what I'm going to do now is add maybe one or two more larger houses in this similar style. And then after that, add a bunch of small houses. And then after that, we will add our paths. We'll bone meal this place up. I'll show you guys how I make my custom trees. And we'll just add a bunch of stuff to make this place look really dang nice. Now, I don't know if I'll get it all done today because I don't want this episode to be too long. And I have different time lapses of me building the houses and of me tearing down the village. I'm not sure what I'm going to add because I'm not sure what's interesting to watch. So, we'll have to see. I just don't want this episode to be too long. So, let's get working on adding some village houses. Alright, we've done a little bit of work, so time to show it off. Now, I could have done more in a time lapse, but I'm still not sure what to do in a time lapse and what to not do because I'm still figuring it all out. But here we go. So occasionally I have these random oak logs placed, and this is just a marker to tell me this is where I want to put one of my custom trees. And I have some over here next to this house. Added 2 more of this small little Nordic style houses, and I was experimenting with the spruce or dark oak, and I can't tell which one I like better. The spruce doesn't necessarily blend as well, but I can make the spruce fit in a bit more when I add some oak to it. So I don't know, let me know what you guys like better. I can't tell. I think I might like the dark oak a little more. I don't know. I'm indecisive, I can't tell. This is not my path. I simply added a little bit of path blocks just so I knew the general direction I wanted my path to go in. Added another custom tree, and then I added a fountain for our beacon. I needed to add some sort of fountain, so I just made a little small fountain design, and we'll bone meal up around this fountain to make it look nice. Now what I'll probably do is add one more big Viking house here, and then a few other small ones around here. I just didn't do that yet because this was taking a lot longer than I thought, and I knew I wasn't uploading all of it to YouTube, but I didn't want the video to be too long, and also I didn't want to spend too much time doing all of this. Now I also added these 2 small farms, but I didn't go over me making them just because they're very simple, and I've made them a lot before. What I do is I'll literally stand in a patch of flat grass, and I'll take my hoe and just go in a circle. I'll go randomly in a circle, and then I'll place water blocks, fill it with seeds, and then I'll place random amounts of cobblestone, leaves, mossy cobblestone, all around to act as a border. So now we have 2 farms. I'll also add some composters around here so that it can actually work as a sort of villager breeder. But now that that's done, let's get working on something a little bit better. Let's start adding some paths to this place. Let's start adding some gravel, some lanterns, some fences, some trees, and making this place really come to life. Alright, so first we're going to go through and make our path blocks for how I want this path to look like. Now, I already have the general shape, like I said before, but we're still going to add some more path blocks here, just kind of randomly around. I have all my detailing blocks in my inventory here. We're also going to add a lot of details to the house. I'm going to add some leaves around the house, might substitute some cracked stone brick, might change some pieces of wood occasionally to give it a nice weathered look, and stuff like that. The houses are not detailed yet. That's why they're still fairly simplistic. So once we're done with all of this, it's going to make the houses look 10 times better. Let's do this. I gotta be careful. My shovel is so sensitive. Oh, I need to add a door to this house. Haven't done that yet. Okay, let's try to get this grass out of here. And it's really hard to do this. But we can just keep adding the paths. I think I'll end it maybe like about here. And then in the future, that's when I'll add the rest of the houses. Maybe I'll do it on stream. Maybe I'll do it next episode. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. But what I usually do with the path now at this point is I'll just go through and randomly, wherever it looks like it's a little boring or it needs some sprucing up, I'll just randomly add some gravel and some stone buttons. This makes it look like small little pebbles or rocks in the ground. It's definitely a good detailing choice. And then of course, also always gotta add the bone meal. Bone meal is so awesome because not only does it add the grass, which adds some texture and detail, but it can add flowers and all that great stuff. So look at this, just adding a little bit of bone meal makes it look 10 times better. I'll add some over here too. And oh, we have to make a path into this house. Let's just randomly click it. See, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just kind of do whatever you want to do. And then we'll add that custom tree in 1 second here. But bone mealing around this place makes it look so much better. Bone meal is so underrated. I don't know why people don't do this more. And you also have to break the double high grass. The double high grass, I don't know, in my opinion, just doesn't look good. You always have to get rid of it. There's no place for double high grass in my village. Let's see, I think this looks pretty good. Okay, so let's just keep bone mealing this up, adding some gravel, adding some stones, and it'll look really nice. Alright, we have a decent amount of paths and bone meal. So now what I'm gonna do, just for some light, is randomly add some fences and occasionally putting some lanterns on them. It'll make the whole thing just look really nice, and also adding some fences just sort of randomly with the houses really, I don't know, it just makes it look nice. I feel like it adds a good feel to it, and we can plop some lanterns, even hanging off the sides of some of these houses to make them look really cool. I want to add a lot more detail with this house. I haven't decided for sure what I want to do with it yet. Ooh, I want an upside down stair right there. I'll go back and put it But yeah, this is pretty much just all I do for my paths, and it makes it look really nice. Now, after I add a few of these larger custom trees, I will be adding some more. These aren't the only trees I want to add, because I want this whole area to be very dense with life. I want it to really be alive. I don't want a lot of the raw land that Mojang gave us in the procedurally generated world to be showing. I want everything to be sort of built up and to be my own, if that makes sense. I think it'll make the whole thing look a lot nicer. And one of the benefits of adding lanterns like this is it lights up the area so mobs don't spawn, because, you know, you can place torches everywhere. That works too, that works fine, but it doesn't look good when you do that. So now for the custom trees. This is basically all I do. I like to start with the roots at the bottom. I just kind of randomly place however I see fit, whatever I think would look good for these logs. Let's put one there, one log in the ground there, one log that way, one log here. I literally just do it random, and I just hope for the best and try to make it look good. Plop them around. As you can tell, most of my building is really just random. I don't have a method to my building. I kind of just place blocks and break them and keep placing them until it looks good. So I'll build up a little bit, and then after that, just start building in random directions and make it look nice. So let's actually do this one up a bit. For this one, we'll be a little shorter, and then for this, we'll go back and boom, just like that. So here's our tree. Now it doesn't look great, so what we're going to do is take our oak leaves, and we're going to cover all the logs at the top, every single log. This way we can fully get enough tree cover, and it'll look really nice. So let's plop all these leaves on. Okay, starting to look a bit better here. Doesn't look perfect yet. So now we're going to hop down and continue doing this. We're going to cover every exposed part of the logs just at the top. Not all the logs, you know, all the way down, just at the top. And then normally what I like to do at the end to finish it off, if you have them, it's a nice touch, is to add some vines. I do have some vines. As you can see, that tree doesn't have some vines, but if we go all the way down here, I do have one tree with vines, and they're a little bit overgrown. I need to work on them. But what you can do to actually sort of manage this overgrowth is, you just saw there, place some string under it, and it prevents it from growing. You'll still have to manage your trees every once in a while, you know, you'll still have to come up here and get rid of some of the vines, but some of them will be fine, and it makes it look really nice. Like, I think that tree is really pretty. And then as you can see, I also like to go to the bottom of these trees and add some lanterns. I think lanterns everywhere. I mean, I know I probably shouldn't use too many lanterns, but I just can't get enough. I think lanterns are such an amazing block. They just look so nice. So let's see, let's keep placing these here. Just placing tons of leaves. We want tons of cover. Let's see. I'll place it like this. I have to be careful. I want to try to get most of it so it looks good from afar and up close. Okay, let's see how that looks. Let's head out a bit. And boom, okay, I think that's a pretty good tree. So now let's take our vines, and I just kind of place them randomly. Again, they'll spread, so you don't have to worry too much about placing them all over the place, because they will occasionally spread a bit. But yeah, that's pretty much all I do. So I'll do that for the rest of the trees here, and I might add a few small birch trees like that, and we'll see what it looks like once we're done. So now that we've done some more work, let's check it out. Things are looking really good. We have more barrels, more lanterns, more detail, and the villagers seem to really be enjoying it. I think I want to add a few more fences around here and there, but overall this is looking really good. Once we get a few more houses around here and this area is really built up, I think it's gonna look really great. But it already looks pretty dang awesome. I mean, it's not perfect, especially around this area. We need a lot more, but I'm pretty proud of how it's coming. I also added some coarse dirt to the path. I know I did that. What else did I do? I added some barrels. I said that already. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of go around, and wherever it looks like something's missing, just go there and add something. It could be a fence, a lantern, a barrel. Those are pretty standard in villages, but you could add whatever you want. Add a tree, add a farm, do whatever you want. I'm just trying to give you guys tips and tricks on how you can make your own village transformed to look absolutely amazing. But anyways, guys, that is all for today's episode. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and again, like I said in the beginning of the video, let me know about all the new changes. Do you like the new brightness? Do you like the time lapses? I don't know, do you like the thumbnails with a little bit of shaders? Honestly, just let me know, because I want to try some new things and see what it's like. I've also got some new music for my videos, so I feel like it's time for a fresh start. I've got a lot of motivation, I've got a lot of energy, especially with the new Imperial SMP that I've joined. Met lots of really great friends on that server that have helped me a lot, give me a lot of tips, tricks, and help to motivate me to play more. But if you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. My name is JWhisp, and I will see you guys all in the next episode.